Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, once upon a time there was a guru or rishi used to live in a forest close by the city. And one time there was a millionaire and he was thinking to get blessing and do a puja. And so he invited for this yogi to do the puja ceremony. So the yogi came and did the puja ceremony. And then after that, as a gift, so this millionaire told, so I would like to give a sheep. So then there were a lot of animals around his farm. And then he told, so whatever the sheep that you like, you can pick. So this yogi thought, for me, why I need any sheep? Because I'm not going to do any farming or I'm not going to take it. But this person now offering, take one. And then he thought, it's okay. I just live alone myself in the middle of the jungle. I can just keep company with this little sheep. So then what he did, he went to the farm and found out the very youngest, the smallest one, and told, okay, I will take this. The millionaire was so happy and gave that. So this yogi and put the sheep on his shoulder and start to walk. On the way back, he need to go through a little crowded place, a small city. So in that city, there were group of robbers, like gangsters. And then they saw in the morning this yogi went through the city and now he coming back and they show on the shoulder the sheep. And they knew this yogi not have that much understanding about this sheep. So they thought, okay, let's take it. Let's rob it. But they knew, it is not good to go and do any harm. And the one little wiser robber came and told, let's do like this way. Let's divide three of us and hide in the middle of the road and then let's talk to it. So then they spread and they went before the yogi, and then they waiting in the middle of the jungle. And so one robber came forward and asked, oh Swamiji, how are you? Then he told, oh, I am doing good. And yeah, I saw you in the morning, you went somewhere. Yeah, I went to do a puja. Then suddenly the robber got kind of like a shocked and looked and asked, what's wrong with you? Why you carry this dog on your shoulder? The Swami, the Rishi told, it's not a dog, it is a sheep. Then the robber didn't argue that much and he just smiled and moved away. And then the yogi keep walking towards the jungle. After a few minutes, then again the next robber came forward. Oh Swamiji, how are you? I saw you in the morning. It seemed like the first one. And then again he told, he got shocked and told, Swamiji, what's wrong with you? Why you carry this dog? The yogi told, it is not a dog, it is a sheep. No, look at very carefully, it is a dog. So then Swami start to have the doubt in his mind and start to think, what's wrong? maybe something wrong with me, because I am the one who picked that sheep, and maybe I wrongly picked the dog. So then he start to look, and he found out, no, no, this is the sheep. And then he start to keep walking. And then in the middle of the jungle, the last one, the third one, came forward and met him and asked, "Oh, Swamiji, you look so tired, and where you went?" And he had a very friendly discussion. And asked, "Swamiji, what's wrong with you? Why you carry this dog all this time? Look at, you are a very respectable person, and you live in the middle of the jungle alone, everyone knows, but you carry this dog, and everybody will laugh at you." So the Swamiji start to to have the more doubt and start to think himself, this is really something going wrong with me. And he has start to have the self-doubt. And then he keep move forward a little bit, and then what he did, he thought, really this is a dog. And this is I no, by mistake I picked the wrong animal. And then what he did, he released the sheep and let go the sheep, and he went away. And then these three, robbers came and took the sheep. So the same thing happened to us in day-to-day life also. And through our culture, through our tradition, believing system, through our schooling, education, through the diplomas, through the medias, and through all the informations that we gather today, so far from birth to today, in what happening? We are mostly had the self-doubt when it come to realizing the truth. How many times you saw the reality, but you didn't expect it, and you didn't expect it, and you didn't you allow it to happen, and you didn't allow it to come to you. And mostly because of the other people told whatever the things, and you went with it, you accept that. And then later you recognize it is a mistake. You have done something wrong. Why? Because you listen to the other people, and it may be your parents, your husband, your wife, your children, brothers, sisters, friends and families, members, and that happens sometimes. And even sometimes, when somebody need to find a partner, or a husband or a wife to marry, when somebody need to find a boy or girl to get married, and sometimes they listen to others, they cannot take a decision themselves. Even when they look at the guy or the girl, and they go with the others ideas. And then when other people say, "Oh, he's very good, she's very good," and you listen to that. And sometimes, and need something, but when other people say, when the media show you something again and again, and when you see the advertisement few times, you decide, I want to buy this. And somebody tell you, okay, buy this, buy this, buy this, and you go with it. So like that, it's became a kind of like a pattern for our life. When other people say something, and we go with it, and you know what is happening on the way? You lose your sheep, thinking it is a dog, and you lose your wisdom, and thinking it is an illusion, and you lose your awareness, thinking it is a dream, and you catch the dream, thinking it is the reality. So meditation is a method allow you to get out of this and develop your self-awareness and maintain your life with the clarity inside you. It's nothing wrong that you having you taking advice from others. We all do that, and especially when it comes to the dharma. That's why it called the shrutame jnana. You have to listen to others. We have to look around. But when you're going to take a decision, never take it because of somebody else told you. Don't do that. Always remember, develop a skill, ability within yourself to observe and be truthful to yourself. If you cannot take the decision in that very moment, take some time. Stay away from it a little bit. Take some time. So otherwise, because of somebody else tell you, don't do anything. And for your whole life, it doesn't matter how good they are. Why? Because there is no way two people can experience the same conventional life. When it comes to spiritual, it is different. Even though we mentioned the common sense, that when it comes to the common sense, that even that common sense deeply related to the ethics, not the viewpoint. Viewpoint cannot come from another person the same way like you have. Because point of reference and the point of view that we have, it's going to be different according to our own experience and the capacity and the thinking level and our background and especially our emotions. This all effect for us. So then yourself, always remember, develop a skill to take the very clear decision within yourself. When it comes to meditation, that is what you gain as a profitable skill. That is what you need anywhere you go. We don't know whatever going to happen. Tomorrow it will happen. We have no power over the life. So then, but if you have the very clear understanding regarding your own mind and your awareness to take a very clear decision, that is what you have to develop. There is a sutta, that sutta name called Adichittanu Yoga Sutta. This is related to the meditation. Adichittanu Yoga Sutta means, Adichitta means higher mind. Yoga means the practice, the way, how you can gain a higher level of mind. That is the very meaning of the sutra. So in this sutra, Buddha gave an example in the beginning, like a goldsmith. If the goldsmith have the very rough, raw level of gold, piece of gold, if you give it to a goldsmith, can you make a ornament out of this? The goldsmith will take it, and the very first thing after he keep cleaning it, he start to burn that iron, the gold. So nowadays, as you know, they have the gas machines. All time they used to do it just with the wood and the burning, with the wood fire. And even that, if you use the gas fire, and when the goldsmith, when he burned this, he don't keep putting the same amount of fire from beginning to end to burn this gold, make it kind of like a liquid. Time to time, the goldsmith need to increase the fire and slow down, minimize and bring down the heat. Time to time, according to the heat and how the heat absorbed to the gold, and according to that, if the fire become too much, then he need to reduce the heat. Then again, if it is become too cold, then again he need to increase the fire. Another thing is, time to time, this goldsmith need to put little bit water on that gold when they burn the gold. Another thing is, in case if the goldsmith not put enough fire and from beginning to end, then it not going to bring the right amount of the gold and the shine, and it become, when we stay with the too long with the fire, little fire, and it going to become very deep, get the different color, not get the shining. Another thing is, if you put too much fire, then the gold going to destroy. So like that, Buddha gave these examples, how the goldsmith burning the gold to liquid and make an ornament out of it. It's time to time, and he recognizing the gold and increase the fire and bringing the heat down, putting the water, and without putting too much water, then the fire also going to become weaker. So like that, and how the goldsmith work with this fire. The same thing, that when you practice meditation, there are few things you have to work with your mind. In day-to-day life, we more listening to others, and we mostly do our life and we maintain our life according to others' informations. And because of that, what is happening? The ability to develop your own mind, you lose. But that's why in meditation, when you develop this, even though you live with the pool of informations, and when it come to your life, the mainly you start to recognize the very nature of the mind. So then Buddha come to the meditation and told that there are three things that you have to remember. The one is the nimitta, or the tranquility, is the sati nimitta, that means the workplace, or the whatever the the object, primary object you take to observe the inhalation exhalation. So as example, our inhalation exhalation we take as our primary mental object. So then that sati nimitta, or the primary mental object, you have time to time you have to observe and see how this is. Are you doing the right way? Are you putting the right amount of attention to that? Or are you putting the too much attention on it? Are you recognize the very clearly the primary mental object? It seems like how the goldsmith, the bringing the heat up and down and putting the necessary amount of water on it and keeping the necessary heat and the right the amount of the time period, the length, the duration, because if you hold it too much, then it's going to burn. So like that, you have to remember the time to time, when you practice meditation, time to time yourself, you have to observe, are you really getting into the primary mental object, or are you somewhere else? If it is so, you have to bring it back. That's the, if you practice the loving kindness meditation, that is your primary mental object. So then you have to remember, are you really on that primary mental object? Or maybe you start with the loving kindness and then later you get mad about that person, whatever the mistake stuck in you, and then you start to go with that. Then what happening? You start with the loving kindness, but now it become an anger meditation. And or maybe You start with the loving kindness, and then you stuck with some emotions. And then all the lust, all the emotions start to vomit and start to remind. So if you don't remember, you start with the loving kindness meditation. What will happen? You end up with the burning yourself. So that's why that you start with the inhalation, exhalation. And always you have to remember, are you following that? Oh, and some people caught up in a light and some say, oh, I saw a light. What the point? You start with the meditation with the inhalation, exhalation. So you lose that and you then start to go with something. And sometimes you start to experience different kind of feelings. That mostly this happen, this kind of like a light happen or the feelings arise because of the four elements. Once you close your eyes, once you don't move your body, and the mind start to release different kind of chemicals, and your four element, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness start to release. And then what happening? You start to experience different kind of things. And if you catch that one thing, what will happen? You lose the awareness. Then you go with it. You go with it. How that the yogi drop the sheep and go with the thinking about the dog and start to get into the doubt. So the same way you go with it. You go with it. So then remember, always, again and again, whatever the meditation technique you start, you have to keep that primary mental object and stay with it. If you go with the tranquility meditation, if you go to the vipassana, then you should know you're doing the vipassana. And the second one is, the second quality is the effort, the strength, the mental strength. It should not be too much or too low. It's same like the fire, how you use it. Because if you put too much effort, you get tired. Then you're not going to practice meditation and you give up. So that should not happen. And if you become too low or lazy, then what will happen? You fall into sleep, or maybe lethargic. You become very lethargic, lazy. So that's why you have to keep the right amount of the strength, the effort towards the practice. That with your mental mind. And the third one is the tranquility state, not to become excited or not to give up suddenly, not to become get into the sleepiness, or the not to to have the kind of like a failure in you. If you start meditation and you keep calmness, maintain the calmness, the equanimity, whatever happen, you're not going to excited, you're not going to excited, you're not going to ponder or look over through your practice. You become calm and you may experience, because you whole day you keep working, and then maybe you had a different experience, and maybe different food you ate. So now when you calm down, it's really your body and mind, each and every cell start to get into rest, and you feel some kind of comfort. So maybe you caught up in that comfort because you didn't experience it through your whole day. And now you feel so good with the comfort. And then you get so excited. Or maybe when the mind become more calm and when it get into tranquility state, and you slowly get out of the body, and this roughness, and you get out of all the feelings, and you get out of even from the mind. And if you get excited, what will happen? It disappear. So those are the three things you have to maintain: awareness related to the primary mental object, and the effort, and the keeping the equanimity, within your own experience, without getting excited or without giving up. If you maintain these three things, like how the goldsmith giving the fire, putting the water, and giving the heat, and holding the gold, and to make it to the right level of that the liquid or the amount of the burn, same way you can develop your mind to something beautiful than you think. But it is, you have to do by within yourself with your own awareness and developing your mindfulness or the clarity, or the we call that the sati sampajanya, clear comprehension. So when you develop it within yourself again and again, again and again, what will happen? In day-to-day life, whatever the perception come to you with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, in that very moment, that perception itself bring the clarity, bring the understanding. Without thinking, you can recognize it. That is the wisdom you need in the beginning in the life. So in that level, you're not going to depend on whatever other people say. This is what in the Theravada tradition, the Buddha's teaching, that is what the mainly try to give as us the beginning point in your spiritual practice. Because once you have this ability, when you read a book, when you listen to Dhamma talk, or when you listen to anything, or if you watch a documentary or movie, or if you go and watch a drama or anything, even if you have people around you, whatever they say, by appearance, maybe when they open the mouth, or maybe when they're ready to say something, you know from where it comes and you know what it is. You're not going to, argue with them. Why? Because you develop a certain quality and you develop equanimity practicing this, and that will help for you to maintain your life in day to day with others. So in that level, you become more calm, relaxed, and you have the ability to listen to them, but at the same time, your mind going to see what is exactly right. So you can gain this quality, you can have this power within yourself. So that is what through the meditation we bringing. So then in day-to-day life, remember, practice yourself and develop this quality and slowly apply it to your day-to-day activities. So in day-to-day life, so whatever you do, so this is through the meditation. So in day-to-day life, whatever you do, and bring these three qualities to that lifestyle. When you make a cup of tea, and bring the attention to that, and put the necessary effort to it. Don't be too lazy or don't be too hurried. Then it's not going to happen. And at the same time, don't be too excited. And see sometimes how many good moments you lose because of you become too excited. Then even sometimes birthday time, before you cut the cake, and when if you become too excited, sometimes you miss that opportunity. You destroy that, So like that, even in a wedding, that the most important moment, when it comes to that most important moment, if you get too excited, you lose the moment. So in day-to-day life, if you work, then what you have to do, bring your attention to your work and see how much the effort that you use to that. Be aware about it. And at the same time, don't be too excited about it, or don't be too mad or too lazy about it. Just bringing the kind of like a middle level of, keep the middle level of understanding to it. Just keep going it. So that way, in day-to-day life, when you develop this, your awareness become more clear, sharper, and stronger. And that is where you come to a point. Your own experience itself become your wisdom. When your experience become your wisdom, you get out of all the sanskara. That means your past experience, and you get out of especially from all others' opinion. That is where you really going to have a mindful life. That means you are completely understanding and recognizing, and you have the wisdom to go with your own experience. So it is possible, and that is where we keep going. So day by day, day by day, day by day. Only thing is your responsibility. Try to bring this understanding to your day-to-day activities. Just not only few minutes sitting, day-to-day, whatever the activities you do, bring these qualities, make it kind of like a part of your life. If you keep doing that way, one day you will see naturally your transformation happen deeply within yourself, and then you will experience the ultimate bliss of Nibbana within this very lifetime. So, with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ettavata cha ammehi sampadang punya sampadang. Sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.